Everyone gather around, Yeah, it's wet now. Everyone got a dry position to be in this period of time. Okay, brilliant. So hello, I'm Caroline, this is Helena, we're two of Libby's bridesmaids, and we're just going to take a few minutes to tell you a little about Libby today.
Well, what to say about Libby Rose Innes?
She's an amazing girl who loves a pint of Guinness. Today we're going to take just a little bit of time to tell you about our Libby, and what better way than by rhyme. So I first met Libby, aged 5, in a ballet class where she was graceful and nimble, and our friendship has continued, with us still playing the best game of all, Hunt the Thimble. Libby's food habits were also interesting when small. Cheese and jam sandwiches, or sausages with no ends at all.
And then came the Morris years, and here's where I'll start my tears. From straw boater hats and sweaty gym mats, to recorder tantrums and swing band anthems. All while wearing a tartan kilt, of course rolled up, we had no guilt. And talking of fashion, Libby inspired a certain presenter. It is, of course, Claire Balding, the one at BBC. And then off she went to Charterhouse, and there she won a bike. Being captain of the fencing team, what is she like?
And what of this sporting prowess? Ballet, fencing, and university football. How can anyone keep up with her at all? But she's always there when we need her most. What a brilliant friend, sorry to boast. And back in the day, she was a school music scholar, and now I've heard she's become a fully fledged doctor. So Libby, apparently, does a superb medical mnemonic, but always with a large gin and tonic.
And so moving from London to Oxford, she began her studies at Keble. Please do excuse our rhyming so far, it is so feeble. And then we know you're good with the pen. But Keble was when Libby met our Shea, and boy didn't that brighten up his day. She told us she'd met her Prince Charming. Well, what she actually said was a ginger Irish man who's balding. Together you ventured across the world to places like Morocco, Italy, Albania, Australia, Norway and Greece, and Zanzibar and India.
And of course there was Borneo, how could we forget, where you ate lizard for dinner, then swam down a river to catch a plane home. What a holiday winner. You're a great couple to be with, just to watch them telly, but even better when you fancy 100 rounds of Botticelli. Shea, you've made Libby so happy, and we can't wait to welcome you into the family. We've also heard that Libby fits right in with the O'Hagan clan, except when forced to swim in cold water. Rumour is she's not a fan.
From the Highlands to the Glens, may your adventures never end. Shea, you're joining the top of the class, so let's
all
raise the glass.
Very good.
She's so weird.
Excellent.
The next speech, unfortunately, none of my lines rhyme, but I'm alright put on the spot. I think I would jump in to say, just to tag on to Libby's thing, because I'm the last speech, most of my jokes have been stowed, but Libby ad-libbed her speech and I can odd-car mine. So I think I would jump in. While Libby thought she was setting up to do a special meeting with Shea, I thought I would do it from Shea's side. So initially Shea met Libby when they were doing the bop with Keble. And like any good Shea story, this involves a good spreadsheet. So when they first met, unfortunately Shea was otherwise taken, but Libby clearly made an impression on him, because a few months later Shea decided, I want to get in contact with this girl. Now unfortunately he didn't ask her for a contact number, but he thought, aha, if I go back to the bop, we've got contact details of all the organisers. So he scrolled through this Excel spreadsheet and got Libby's number, texted her out of the blue. I would have thought, for Libby, this strange man texted me. That's a bit uncomfortable. So I would have thought most people would have went through Facebook, but no, Shea decides that personal touch. But we can't criticise too much because look how lovely a relationship they've brought up. Now I would say for many people here, Shea has many descriptions. For some, he's an entrepreneur, not because of bitch booking, but because of selling burnt CDs at the back of the school bus. For other people, we could look at his promising sporting career that was sadly curtailed by enough injuries that he deserves his own ward at the hospital. But I think all of us would agree the thing that sells Shea the most would be his election posters at cable. Prosperity through discipline. And I think that's perfectly simplified. I believe he's the only teenager I know who asked his parents, can you force me to study more? That stress probably related to his early onset baldness. It hasn't really impacted me too much. But I would say, like, we've all made fun of Shea for that, but I would say I think everyone here that knows Shea agrees that he's always put his absolute heart in to helping every single person here. He's always put his effort in to go that extra yard for everyone here. And I have always looked up to him as a brother, as a friend. He's always been an inspiration to me within sports, within just being social, with being nice with someone. He's someone I've always looked up to. And I think it's absolutely incredible that he's met Libby, who's someone who's just as kind and caring as him. And I can't imagine a more perfect couple. I think it really goes to show how perfect a couple they are, where they can play a Settlers of Catan and they barely argue, apart from the one or two times. So I'm just going to cut my speech short because, like I said, most of it's been stolen, unfortunately. But we'll get it all stuck into the drinking. I just want to wish a massive toast to Libby and Shea, the married couple, and I'm not going to try the second name thing.
On to the drinking.
It's fucking. That was my one rule.